Well, you wonder when it might come back to bite them, and tonight was that night. Lack of offense, lack of any kind of pop, not helping the Phillies. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance, Amy Fiddle and Ruben Amaro Jr. And Ruben, we were upstairs and we were watching it, and like at one point it was one hit, and I'm thinking the line from Bob Uecker comes in, I'm like, this ain't good. But they needed to get something going. You mentioned this last night too. It didn't hurt them because they had such good starting pitching and the bullpen came in. Starting pitching was not a problem tonight. It was just a lack of offense.
Yeah, they just did not swing the bats well. And you know, we talked about them having success against Sonny Gray in the past, but tonight, no. They just didn't have the right plan against him. He was throwing like the sinkers past them. They were maybe looking for breaking ball when they were getting fastballs, and vice versa. Whatever the case may be, Sonny Gray sort of picked them apart today. And they had 5 hits yesterday, 3 hits today, 8 hits in 2 games. That's not going to get it done. And Fenway's a pretty good place to swing the bat. A lot of space in right field, very little space in left field. I mean, you can do some damage off that wall. Really not too many balls hit very well tonight. And, you know, it made it very, very tough for the Phillies to, you know, to keep it close enough. They kept it close enough for them to win the ball game. When you don't hit, you ain't going to win.
Yeah, to your point, there wasn't a lot doing. It was 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. The fact that there were even that many runners in scoring position is probably maybe the more surprising thing. And that all came late. You know, we were looking at when Kyle Schwarber was able to get on second after the pass ball and then stole third. That was the that was the 9th inning. We had to wait to the 9th inning until anything kind of started happening on the base pass.
Yeah, really, that was the only threat. I mean, kudos to and hats off to Justin Crawford, who ended up hitting that home run
that was a bomb.
Early in the game. Really good swing on a 2-0 pitch. But really beyond that, they didn't really muster up a whole lot of offense, didn't really hit a whole lot of balls hard. I think Brandon Marsh hit one line drive to the second baseman, and he ended up getting robbed there. But I think there was a line drive from Bohm to right field, but they've been playing him on the line down there because that's where he has most of his action. So you got to give the Boston Red Sox some credit for their defense, and you got to give them some credit for the way that they came through in late in the game. But the Phillies' offense really was pretty paltry today, and I've been really impressed with it. I just couldn't understand why they wouldn't go back to the slider there, or the breaking ball that he throws. Ended up throwing a fastball right down Broadway, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do with those pitches.
2 questions for you on that 6th inning, because it was 5 innings, and I think maybe that was a good sign for Andrew Payne. Or any thought process for you for leaving him in maybe a little bit longer?
He probably could have, but I think that it's really important. We're trying to, the Phillies are trying to build this guy and make him a better pitcher, and getting some confidence. He pitched a heck of a baseball game, and I was really impressed with it. Extremely efficient. He threw about 75% strikes. The numbers are, I mean, unbelievable. 74% strikes. 46 strikes out of 62 pitches. That's extraordinary. And he mixed it up. He changed things up. I really did like the way he threw the ball. I didn't have a problem at all him taking him out of the game at that point, because he had his full arsenal of his bullpen. I think he had the right matchups that just didn't work out. When you don't get any hits and you don't score runs, it puts a whole heck of a lot of pressure on that bullpen to hold things down.
Did it surprise you that Tanner Banks was pulled after getting the strikeout?
No, I wasn't. I mean, again,
I
guess it's the right matchup because Rafael had come in to pinch hit, and I think that was the right move. It just unfortunately ended up being, you know, one of those situations where, you know, he just made a mistake. And I just, again, why he would not go back to that sweeper that was actually breaking really well. I was really surprised that they ended up calling for a fastball in that situation, especially when he could do that much damage with it, and he did.
Yes, he did. About 376 feet over to the Green Monster. That's how much damage. And 3-1, and that's exactly where we found us, because Sonny Gray pitched a gem. He is the subject of our Eye on the Mound presented by PGW. Just his 2nd start back.
Had a great plan for him the last time they faced him. You got to give him some credit. I mean, he only held him down to 2 hits. 1 earned run. That home run was a 2-0 fastball right down Broadway that Justin Crawford hit.
And he was pulled from his last start. Right, he was lifted after his last start after 5 innings. He pitched 70 pitches. That one goes 78 in 6 innings. So he's been pretty efficient, able to get in and get out. And I think when you have a guy working his way back from a little bit of an injury, that's exactly what you want. But the Phillies didn't seem to be. Do you think that they were chasing him? Because I feel like the approach they played seemed almost rushed at times.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was getting ahead of most of the hitters, and when you do that, it allows you to expand the strike zone. He was mixing up his pitches, sort of pitching backwards, which is exactly what Andrew Painter did a little bit. He pitched backwards. His usage was totally different. And this is exactly what Gray did, and he actually carved up the Phillies pretty well. Got to give him some credit. Would love to have seen them put a little bit more barrel action on the ball. Only hit maybe 4 or 5 balls really hard, and really made some pretty easy outs today for Gray.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Let's check in now with Don Mattingly up in Boston.
Go through the decision there with Painter after the 5th, just deciding to take him out there.
Yeah, it was really kind of, we wanted to be proactive tonight with him. We knew, from the kind of beginning of the game, that 3rd time through it was going to be a spot we were going to try to stay away from. Get him going, get some confidence, and obviously threw the ball really well tonight. Got his command back. I don't think he walked anybody. I was happy with him, but knowing that we're going to need him all year long and just kind of get him building, let him build off a good start. And really we got where we wanted to go with our bullpen too. We just didn't get the out we needed.
What was that conversation like with him?
Pretty easy. I just told him that was going to be it. It was pretty easy. He wasn't fighting me to stay in the game, but I don't know if I really expected him to. But he threw the ball well. He comes out of it with confidence. It's good for him going forward.
Could that kind of be a plan for him right now? 5 innings, get through twice, or build confidence and go from there?
Yeah, I think we wanted to build confidence and go from there. I think when we get to if he did the same type thing, next time out, I think we gotta give him, let him keep fighting through. Because you're obviously gonna want to build him to be a, kind of like the other guys you're seeing that can go 7 and get us deeper into the game. But for now, that was a good start towards that.
It's kind of almost like a balancing act of you got to win ball games, but you try to develop a young guy as well.
Yeah, I mean he did what we wanted. If he goes out there and keeps us in the game and gives us 5 every time out, we're going to be happy. Obviously, we think he's going to be better than that. But if he's doing that at the back end of our rotation, then we're going to be in a pretty good spot.
And having a relatively fresh bullpen and threat of weather playing to it all.
Well, really fresh bullpen. Weather a little bit, but you never know. Weather changes so fast. But they're pretty good at calling them now, so we'll see. But really, it was still that spot that we knew we were left-handed at the top there. Thought it was a good spot for Banksy. We get Kirk in the game at the right spot too. I felt like just kind of missed the spot, trying to go up, look like above the zone there. I think Rafael chased last night up there. They probably taken a shot up there and just left it in the zone.
What do you think made Gray so tough?
Well, he's been tough on this club, or I should say this group of guys. There was a couple of guys that hit him okay. I think Bowman's hitting pretty good. Trey's hitting pretty good. Number one, spin. Like, he's got a variety of spin. It's really good. Tonight I thought he got ahead in counts, but was able to keep the ball down in the zone with the sinker. Throw enough of those to get us off the spin, but he was good with the spin all night.
When you in developing a guy like Painter and having a game plan with him on a specific night tonight, it's you, it's your pitching coaches. Does it go right up to the front office as well? Is it?
Not really,
Okay.
but let Dave know what we were thinking, and so we were thinking before the game. That's pretty much as far as it went. It wasn't coming down like, hey, we had to do something for him. It was more, we felt like it was the best thing for him. Just let Dave know what we were thinking, and he was good.
Was Payne on the same page with that before the game also, so he kind of knows what to work with?
No, definitely wouldn't tell a guy that before the game. But it is something that we'll definitely talk about now that we've been through it. What we were thinking tonight, so he's not looking over. I don't want him looking over his shoulder either, like he's come get me. So that's definitely something that now we had the conversation, kind of what we were thinking tonight. With all the things you talked about, our bullpen was full at the top. There's a left-handed spot. All those factors.
Crawford, he ran a country mile for that ball, the catch.
Yeah, it was good to see, right? Because those are the ones that have been kind of dropping this year, but made some good plays there. Obviously swung the bat well tonight. You know, hitting another homer, kind of showing that this is a little bit of the future as far as there's some of that in there. It's not just, you know, getting hits and stealing bases and things like that. So there's a lot in there.
He had 26% sliders, 26% sweepers. The sweeper was outstanding today, and it set up his fastball, made his fastball much more electric. Got some swings and misses on that fastball because of it. You see how many strikes he threw? 46 strikes out of 62 pitches. That ratio is way higher than what he had been doing in the early part of the season. Brilliant game plan. He executed it. Really happy for this guy, and he can continue to mix in those pitches and gain more confidence. I think it was a great game plan, and I was really happy the way he executed it. And he kept them in the ball game.
Right.
And I know that people were saying, well, why didn't, he struck out the side his last inning in the fifth. Well, it was time for him to get him out because they did have the full complement of their bullpen, and they want to try to continue to build this guy's confidence as a pitcher. In the future, he's probably going to continue to pitch, but this is something that I think they game planned, and I don't think it was the wrong thing to do.
Let's check in now with Andrew Painter up in Boston after his outing.
So, I mean, this was a really good rebound for you tonight. Were you a little surprised to come out after 5 and 62 pitches and struck out the side right before that?
I mean, I don't make those decisions, so, my job is to just go out there and pitch until they tell me not to go anymore.
So what do you make of tonight overall for you? Just the outing?
I thought it was good. Thought I settled in a little bit after like the second or third. Thought I was pretty efficient. I was in zone early, and that was the biggest thing. I mean, you see the pitch count being that low through 5. That's something I haven't really done. I've kind of struggled with those higher pitch counts and not being able to throw deeper into those games. So I think that's super encouraging. Just attacking the zone early and being confident with my stuff.
I know two-strike execution has been a focus. How did you feel that went tonight?
Good. I thought. I mean, obviously really good in the fifth inning. I thought it was better, definitely better than the last two.
And Justin Crawford, a little struggle with some balls dropping in there. Nice to see him continuing to develop in the outfield as well.
Yeah, offense and defense from Justin Crawford. Let's check in with him now.
Good working a veteran pitcher tonight. He was got a good breaking ball, Sonny Gray. What was it like, facing him?
Yeah, I felt good. Obviously a really good pitcher. I've seen a lot growing up on TV, and I was happy I was able to put a good swing on him.
How about that catch? I mean, he ran 93 feet. Did you hear that?
No, not at all. He hit it, and I figured I had to kind of get on my horse a little bit to go try to make a play, and just glad I was able to get there in time.
Straight away center, it's a long way. Did you know or feel off the bat that one was going to get out? Or?
Hit it well. I felt like I hit it good, but I didn't know it was going to get out, honestly. I thought it was going to hit off the wall for a second, but definitely felt good to see it get over the fence.
A couple of homers in the last week or so here, part of your game that you're not known for. How was it feel to show the power side?
It was good. I think it feels bad just to put a good swing on the ball. That's what I'm trying to do, just hit the ball hard. It's on the ground in there, just put good quality swings on the ball. So definitely felt good to be able to kind of get another swing today.
Don was saying like that catch, right? That's the ball that's been falling in. It seems like. So is there something different about the break or the jump or the first step or
Yeah, I think just as a whole, I mean, I've been working with Paco a lot and just anticipating more. So I think just kind of anticipating. I knew there was going to be an off-speed pitch right there, so kind of just anticipating and expecting it was going to be off the end of the bat. And yeah, I think just practicing that and doing that every day will gradually get me better.
It just didn't seem like he was right, and he felt uncomfortable pitching to Kyle. I just have a feeling that they decided, okay, before this game, they had a meeting. Let's not let Schwarber beat us. Let's let the other guys behind them beat us if they can, and that's exactly what they did. They ended up pitching him pretty tough today.
Do you think it made a difference because Schwarber's leading things off a little bit in that one? they were okay with him getting on base even if it was leading off the inning.
Yeah, I don't think that they, he's not a speedster, so
Right.
although he had a huge stolen base against Chapman, and that put them in a great spot. Just a base hit would have tied the game. It was very, very heads-up play. I don't think they're worried about him getting on base and creating runs that way. So I think they probably just said, let's just stay
Steer
away
clear.
from him,
Yep.
steer clear, and try to let the other guys beat us.
Especially when the guys behind him, which were Bryce Harper and Adolis Garcia tonight, 0-for-4. Garcia with 3 strikeouts, Harper with 2 strikeouts. As we go inside the box score, brought to you by Petro. Petro Home Services, your local HVAC pros. And too many zeros. We saw this last night, and it didn't come back to haunt them, but it did tonight. Just a couple of hits, 3 total hits, 2 of them coming late.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't swing the bats the way they wanted to swing the bats. You see one of those first 3 or 4 guys, zeros across the board. I mean, when those guys are over, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't create runs, and it puts a lot of the heat on the back end of that lineup.